It's me, Captain Blueberry Buckaroo, or otherwise known as Lancer 737. I'm reading from one of my favorite novels from the Princess Collection, Princess Luna and the Winter Moon. Reading through the backstory of my girl, Princess Luna. Her story's been really great. This is a cold reading. Although I have read this in the past, I normally read the stories over and over again to have a good grasp of what I need to say. So if I had, I probably would be able to do the characters better and I wouldn't stumble as much. But I hope you guys are enjoying this anyway. Anyway, we are on Chapter 11, Royal We. When Princess Luna arrived back in Canterlot, she should have gone straight to bed. But rather than making a radical decision, Luna stormed into their throne room full of feelings. Rational decision. "How couldst thou you do this to us?" she bellowed, accidentally slipping into her royal Canterlot voice. Luna's eyes had the same crazy expression as they did before she turned in a nightmare mood. "Do what, Luna?" A look of concern flashed across Princess Celestia's face. She stood up from her throne and came over to her sister. Celestia put a hoof on Luna's shoulder to calm her. It worked better than a burst of magic. Luna sighed and plopped down on the cold stone floor. "A winter moon festival!" She hung her head, and her flowing dark mane fell over her green eyes. "What in Star Swirl's bristly beard were you thinking?" "Oh, Princess Celestia," bit her lip. "You found out?" She gave a nonchalant laugh. "It was supposed to be a fun surprise, sister." "I hate surprises," Luna pouted. "You know that. But what about all those times in the Castle of the Two Sisters? All those hidden trapdoors and secret passageways you wanted to build into it?" Celestia teased. "I don't recall you disliking surprising Counselor Puddinghead by jumping out and startling her during royal meetings." This memory made a tiny giggle come from Luna. That was quite amusing. "I know," Princess Celestia smiled, "and this will be too, I promise." Princess Celestia raised her brow in hope. "So will you play along for the sake of surprise?" Luna thought how determined the little fillies had been to making this happen. If she told Celestia to cancel the whole event now, they'd probably still find a way to surprise her, and then she'd never know when it was going to be. If Luna went along with this fast-approaching Winter Moon Festival, at least she'd be able to have a hoof in how it went. "I shall play along," said Luna with a nod. "But there will be some surprises for every pony else," she thought, imagining the other silly tweaks she could make to the party planner's dreams. "Thank you, sister." Celestia bowed. "Now please go. Get some rest. Any pony ever tell you that you're rather unpleasant when you're tired?" As we all know from the Season 7 episode, when Luna and Celestia had their cutie marks switched, can't believe Luna ate an entire pineapple, skin and all. It's like, why don't you just eat a porcupine? You get more protein that way. Oh, but then again, I like porcupines, and the pineapple isn't alive like a porcupine, so I guess it was a good trade-off. Chapter 12, Dream Team. A strong burst of magic shot from the blue alicorn's horn and danced its way up to the glowing moon. Luna focused as she gently released the orb from its nightly duty, taking care to lower it slowly and steadily. On the opposite balcony, her older sister was focusing hard as well. Celestia was bringing the sun up to hang in the ever-brightening sky. As soon as the exchange was complete, the two sisters nodded to each other. "Gratis Luna et stellis," whispered Luna. "Thank you, my dear moon, and brilliant stars for another peaceful night." She trotted inside and took stock of her secret project. Luna flipped open the dream register and traced her hoof down to the page. It had been a busy week spent visiting almost every pony involved in planning the Winter Moon Festival. Everything was coming together beautifully, or falling apart like Luna wanted to. It was all happening without them even realizing. In Applejack's dream, Luna suggested that instead of hot apple cider, the mooncake as party snacks, and the mooncake as party snacks, they had spicy rainbow juice and banana peel pudding. Another night, Luna influenced Fluttershy to collect a bunch of hideous blue bugs to release at the party, rather than cute snowy bunnies she planned to have hopping around. And finally, Princess Luna managed to convince Dream Rarity to sew a bunch of scratchy ceremonial cloaks for the guests to wear instead of pretty dresses. Though admittedly, that one had taken a lot more work than the others. Using her magic to close her dark velvet curtains, Princess Luna lay down on her fluffy bed and smiled. She hadn't had this much fun in ages. It wasn't long until she drifted off into a slumber of her own, dreaming up more silly ways to change the Winter Moon Festival. Sorry, Pinkie Pie. I've been so focused on getting these done in time for the Winter Moon Festival, Rarity stifled and yawned. Magic energy flowed out of the unicorn horn to move a pile of finished ceremonial cloaks. Rarity took another bolt of wool fabric from the rack and started to roll it out across the cutting table with a sigh. For some reason, inspiration struck in the form of cloaks. Would you believe it? I believe it, and I like it, Pinkie Pie bounced around. She scooped up a robe and tried it on. She began to wiggle and squirm. Very cloaky and itchy. Excellent! Rarity didn't notice Pinkie Pie doing the itchy dance all around the room. She kept on sewing. So what were you saying about the decorations, darling? Oh yeah, replied Pinkie Pie. I had this silly, bonkers, wackadoodle-doo idea, and we were invisible in decorations instead of the one. They were invisible decorations instead of the ones that with all the moons and stars on them. Pinkie Pie did a little twirl and sing-song. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Rarity grasped and put her hoof up to her chest. No decorations? No, silly, Pinkie Pie giggled. Invisible ones are all the rage these days. I know because I had this amazing, awesome party the other night for Princess Luna, and all night she said they were totally her favorite decorations ever. Pinkie Pie took off her cloak and bounced to the door. But I gotta go, get to work if I'm ever going to finish them in time for tomorrow. Invisible decorations take twice as much work as regular ones, you know. It's a quality issue. Whatever you say, darling, Rarity shrugged and adjusted her red glasses. I'm sure you know what you're doing. She was wrong. Of course I do, Pinkie Pie said before she whooshed out the front door. See you later, Rarity. While it was odd that Pinkie Pie had decided to go minimalist, Rarity wasn't going to press the issue. She had far too much work of her own to do before the Winter Moon Festival. 12 more pony cloaks and a special one for Princess Luna, too. In the kitchen, the kettle whistled. Tea break. Tea break! Rarity trotted over and poured herself a steaming cup of rose tea. She stared out the window of the Carousel Boutique, watching the snowflakes drift down as she sipped her tea. Rarity closed her eyes and floated off into her thoughts, thinking of all the fabulous clothes she had bought in Manhattan the other day. Rarity wandered upstairs to find them, thinking of a unique hat she had purchased. It was covered in yarn and tiny cats. The yarn hung off the edges to create a fringe and... Wait a second. I never bought a hat with cats all over it. Suddenly it was like she had been awakened from a dream. That sounds atrocious. Rarity stood up with a bolt. And did Pinkie Pie say she had a party with Princess Luna? Rarity narrowed her eyes. With no decorations? Something was definitely not right here. Rarity downed her tea in one gulp, fixed her mane in the mirror, and headed straight up to Princess Twilight's castle. Chapter 13. Waking Up. Naturally, the Castle of Friendship was a flurry of activity. Every pony was busy with the individual tasks for the festival. Luckily, Twilight Sparkle had offered to use one of the cavernous, empty rooms to store all the supplies. Princess Twilight's own undertaking, an educational exhibit on the history of the moon's phases, was taking up an entire corner. There were books, huge display boards, and a big model of the moon that ponies could touch. Or they could just have Luna bring the moon down with a lasso. That would work too. When Rarity arrived, Fluttershy was leading a parade of ugly blue bugs to a makeshift coral. "That's it, little buggies," Fluttershy cooed. "You're going to spend the night here before Princess Luna's party. Isn't that wonderful?" A few of the bugs nuzzled Fluttershy's yellow hoof. She smiled. In my case, I would be freaked out. Giant bugs. I would just think of xenomorphs. Anyway, Rarity made a disgusted face. "Fluttershy, dear, what in the world are you doing with all those things?" Fluttershy smiled. "I got this wonderful idea. Was it from Princess Luna herself?" Rarity guessed, growing ever more suspicious. "Yes, actually," Fluttershy admitted. "She just loved these bugs so much. So I thought, why not have them all attend the festival instead of snow bunnies like we planned?" "Tell me, darling," Rarity asked, raising her hoof and pointing to the hundreds of displaced bugs. "When did Princess Luna tell you about her love for bugs?" "It was just the other night, I think." Fluttershy bit her lip, searching. "But we weren't in Ponyville. We were at the magical creature summit and..." "Oh." Fluttershy blushed in embarrassment. "I guess it was just a dream." "Aha!" Rarity exclaimed. "Exactly! Excelsior!" She began to pace back and forth. "When I thought of the brilliant idea for cloaks, Princess Luna and I were just arriving back from a day of luxury, shopping at the Bloomingdale's. You weren't in Manhattan, too, with Princess Luna. Oh, sorry. You went to Manhattan, too, with Princess Luna?" Twilight trotted over, joining in as she cocked her head to the side. "When did you do that?" "Don't you see?" Rarity smiled triumphantly. "I didn't. I just thought I did." "Got the treats." Applejack trotted into the room, pulling a trolley full of spicy rainbow juice behind her. Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo each pulled smaller trolleys filled with banana peel pudding. "So we did. So do we," the fillies inquired. But put 'em next to the pile of garlic necklaces in the corner, girls." Then Applejack trotted over and greeted her friends. "Woohoo! Woo-wee! I sure am excited that Princess Luna gave me the idea to serve something different than apples this time." Fluttershy and Twilight's jaws dropped. "Applejack not serving apples? Rarity was right." "What?" Applejack asked, dumbfounded. "I got a piece of hay in my teeth, something." "No," answered Twilight. She trotted over to the mountain of garlic necklaces. "But I think we've all got some strange ideas in our heads that were some pony else's." "What do you mean?" asked Apple Bloom, joining in. Beads of nervous sweat began to form on her forehead. "Is this about the garlic? 'Cause we can change that if no pony likes it. I just thought..." "No, not all, Apple Bloom." A smile broke out on Rarity's face. "Don't you all see? I see this mess we've made of the Winter Moon Festival," squawked Sweetie Belle. She hung her head and shuffled her hooves. "What are we gonna do?" "Nothing," Rarity laughed. "Obviously. Princess Luna visited us in our dreams to change the Winter Moon Festival because she knows about the surprises. And these are the things she wants at the party. She just is far too shy to tell us." Chapter 14, of Great Importance. Since the Summer Sun celebration was an all-nighter affair, the accumulated in hundreds of ponies watching the raising the sun together at dawn, it was only natural to hold the Winter Moon Festival in the opposite way. So it was decreed by Celestia that it would last throughout the day, with the big reveal of raising the moon at dusk. Then the ponies could dance and play beneath the stars until they were all too tired to move. Not that Princess Luna was supposed to know any of this, of course. As far as the ponies in Ponyville were concerned, it was still a big surprise. But today was also the day when all the secret work she had put into altering the Winter Moon Festival would come to light. Would the ponies realize what they had done? Would her sister be angry with her for doing so? It was all so unpredictable that Luna actually felt a bit of excitement to find out. It was fortunate that Princess Luna had managed to catch the few hours of sleep after she had lowered the moon this morning. She wanted to be alert when she made her entrance. Yawning her sleepy self awake, Luna sipped a cup of hot chocolate with whipped cream and idly trotted around her quarters, completing small tasks from her to-do list. First, Luna got out her jewelry polish and shined each hoof cuff, her crescent moon neck piece, and her shimmering black crown. Then she nuzzled Castor and Pollux, feeling their soft owl feathers on her cheek as they snoozed away the morning. After that, she did some leg stretches with Tiberius, the opossum. It wasn't until she was going over her dream register from the previous night that she noticed something odd. She pulled out the thread of the dream and projected it in front of her. As Luna watched, her jaw dropped. Right there in the dream of a unicorn named Lyra was a triax hippo. The transparent purple hippo was chasing the mint green unicorn through a field, snapping at her as if it were about to become a tasty snack. Lyra howled in fear. Returning the nightmare to the dream register, Princess Luna furrowed her brow in concern. How had it gotten there? Technically, since the Trax hippo had disappeared hundreds of moons ago, there was no way Lyra could have even known what one was. To know what one of them looked like, unless the pony had been studying the creature in a dusty old book. That must have been it, Luna reasoned. Still, it was a strange coincidence, since Luna had used the Trax hippo as her reason for being in Ponyville a few weeks ago. Sister, Princess Celestia exclaimed from just outside the door. May I enter? You may, Luna replied hastily, closing the dream register. Why did she suddenly feel guilty? Princess Celestia was dressed to impress. The tall white alicorn looked ethereal and elegant blue, and a glossy, elegant blue gown covered in tiny silver jewels. It draped over her shoulder and gathered around her waist with a string of braided silver rope. And instead of Celestia's usual golden neck plate, her neck bore a delicate necklace made of glittering stars. She was so stunning Luna couldn't even speak. What do you think? Celestia lifted up her hoof to show how the gown sparkled. You look beautiful, Sister Luna, said Luna. And she meant it. Suddenly Princess Luna wished she had something more appropriate to wear. Then her mind drifted to the thoughts of the ceremonial cloaks and she smirked. Here Celestia procured a shimmering white gown. I had this made special just for you. It's the color of your magnificent moon. Wow. Princess Luna admired the fabric. It was glowing. She was mesmerized. Thank you. Princess Celestia seemed satisfied. When she departed the room so Luna could get dressed, Luna felt a mixture of anticipation and nervous in her stomach. She had wanted all her harmless pranks to go off without a hitch. Not long after, the two sisters emerged in the Canterlot Castle Square. As Luna and Celestia trotted toward their carriages, the line of guards watched in wonder at the regal siblings. As Luna trotted past them, each guard bowed deep and said, "Gracias lunama et stellas." That was their special phrase, given each morning to the moon and stars as a thank you. Now it was all directed at her. For once Princess Luna was surprised. She felt very touched. "You are of great importance to the ponies in Equestria, Luna," Celestia smiled. "Now do you believe me?" I'm going to stop it there just in case I run out of time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're having a good weekend. And we have a couple chapters left, so it's not long now until we're finished with this story. Anyway, take it easy. Have a good weekend.